Hi folks, hope everybody's okay. Love to everybody out there. You can get me on Facebook, you can get me on Twitter, you can get me on Patreon, you can get me on PayPal, you can get me on Amazon and Teespring. Hope everybody's okay and love to everybody out there. I'm just going to make a quick video, something that I'm quite passionate about. I'm very passionate about free speech, and I don't care whether you're black, white, whether you're gay, whatever your view is. So long as you don't advocate violence, I will stand up for your free speech. And in Manchester, I've had a microphone, and I've handed my microphone to atheists, to Muslims, to gay people, and we've had dialogue and debate, and I've encouraged dialogue and debate. I'm very, very passionate about this. When our Lord Jesus Christ came, he did not shut down people's ability to speak. When he came to the Pharisees, he taught with the Pharisees, he taught with the Sadducees, he taught with people. He didn't just shut them up and say, right, I don't want to listen to you. He actually dialogued with them and treated them as human beings. And so I believe in passionately about this, and I've encouraged dialogue, I've encouraged debate and discussion. I've done that at High Park Speaker's Corner, and I'm a great believer in it, and I will defend anybody's right to free speech. Now, that's why I like a gentleman called Sargon of Akkad. Now, this gentleman is a YouTuber. He's got over 900,000 subscribers, and he's quite well known on YouTube. He's also got involved in politics and joined UKIP, and he's now running to try and be an MEP for the European Parliament. Now, he's a great believer in free speech, and that resonates with me. He's a great believer in challenging political correctness. Now, that resonates with me. And he is a great believer in dialogue and discussion, and that resonates with me. And I really like some of the things and some of the ways that Sargon of Akkad goes about his business. Now, there are some things about this gentleman, his views, that I don't like. For example, he can be quite controversial. For those who don't know, there was an MP a few years ago, and he made the comment, well, I wouldn't even rape you. Now, he said that the context of saying that statement was in the context of men were committing suicide, and he was very troubled about this and wanted to stand up for men's rights. And the woman MP was more of a feminist, so he was basically trying to get on the nerves of the political correct brigade and the feminists, who were not really thinking about men's rights. Now, I think it was a bit too controversial. It was dark humour gone too far. That's what I think. So there are things about his method that I don't fully agree with, but at the same time, I think his heart's in the right place, and he's also doing some good things where he's encouraging dialogue and debate. And his times in Swindon recently have been excellent, where he's actually sat down, people have come to him at the table, and he's dialogued with people, and he's really, really a good person in having a dialogue and discussion. And even though he's an atheist, I like the fact that he's very respectful towards Christianity, and I really appreciate that. So that's Sargon of Akkad. But recently, only a few hours ago, he was going to Swindon to put up his table to do dialogue and discussion, and lo and behold, a group of Antifa come and basically attacked him. And Antifa are a far left group, and they attacked this person, a democratic person who wants to encourage democracy, who wants to encourage dialogue. And I just want to say that I'm on record of saying many times that democracy is finished in the West. It's finished. You know, it's been messed up by this political correct brigade, and they've messed democracy up. But it doesn't mean to say that we can mess it up even more by violence. And I just want to say that I think it's very, very sinister and bullying and dangerous that there are far left people going around beating people up because they don't agree with them. If you can't dialogue and discuss with people, then there's something wrong with your position. And it seems to be that this far left group Antifa in America and in the UK and around Europe feel that they can just attack anybody without giving any reason for what they're doing. And I just disagree with it. The other thing as well that's worrying is that the media and politicians don't call this group out, but actually allow this group to continue to be violent and antagonistic to anybody else who disagrees with them. So I just want to say to people, whether you're on the far left or whether you're on the right or whatever your position is, that if you cannot dialogue and debate people, then it's game over. You need to pack it in. Being violent and attacking people and trying to shut people down by violence really undermines what you're trying to do. It undermines democracy, it undermines freedom of speech, and to be honest, it'll lead to a counter-revolution of some sort, a kind of violent revolution, if that continues. And so I would say, please, all of us, encourage dialogue and debate. But if these people continue to be violent, people will have to defend themselves. And what was interesting is that they were attacking Sargon of Akkad, and then a number of UKIP men came to give Sargon of Akkad a bit of support, and they ended up having to be violent. They ended up having to defend the future MEP representative. So if you're going to bring violence and bully people, don't expect people to just sit around and just take it on the chin. People are going to respond and defend themselves. So it's not a good thing to be going around bullying and being violent. It doesn't get anywhere. It only produces more conflict. The best way is to show practical care and love and try to sit down and talk with the person and dialogue with the person. And Sargon of Akkad did that recently a number of times in Swindon, where he sat down with people and he actually dialogued with people, and it was beautiful to see people just talking to him. They disagreed vehemently with him, but they sat at the table and they had a dialogue with him, and he dialogued with them, and that's the best way. So please, everybody out there, please, whether it's politicians in Parliament, whether it be the media, whether it be academics, whether it be people on the street, wherever you are, try to be civilized. Try to listen to your opponent, listen to what they've got to say, then respond with your arguments and what you have to say, and have a rational, civilized discussion. And if you start to get heated and you start to get angry and you start to want to be violent, then you need to go home, have a cup of tea, have a hot bath, and take a massive chill pill, because you're going in the wrong direction. Alright? So I hope that's a help to you, to calm down, everybody. And Antifa, calm down and try to dialogue and debate with people, because if you don't, violence begets violence. And if you're bullying people, what comes around goes around, then it'll come back to you. You'll get the karma back on you. So don't be doing that, please. Focus on dialogue and debate and discussion. And to people like Sargon of Akkad, my hat's off to you. I don't agree with your tactics, all your tactics, but I do agree. I do admire your boldness for free speech. I do admire your boldness against political correctness, and I do admire your boldness to stand up for democracy. Well done, sir. God bless and take care, everybody.